Hey, Yeti family, here we go. Happy New Year. It is 2022 and we are ready to rock. Thank you guys for giving us a day to make sure that we got all of our ducks in a row, all of our COVID protocols taken care of. We could look at our staffing numbers, get everything ready for the best year ever. And so we are starting tomorrow. So give you a little bit of information about this week, COVID protocols this year. Here we go. Before anything, thank you so much as we say goodbye to 2021. Here's to an amazing 2022. Thanks for so much for being a part of this amazing place we call Snowy Peaks. So the topics I'm going to talk about are going to be our schedule for this week and what's going on here for orientation, and then when we start our new classes. We'll talk about COVID protocols. I know there's been a lot of questions about how we're going to handle things with the increasing cases that we're seeing in Summit County. And then we'll talk about grades, report cards, and things like that to end our time here today. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about is our schedule for this week. So tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll run orientation. On Wednesday, we'll have experiential learning in our WIN, kind of a typical Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, we'll begin our new classes for the second semester. Okay, so here we go. Tomorrow, January 4th, before I forget, students are probably going to want to bring a hat and gloves because we may venture outside for a little bit of our orientation activities. Might be a little fun. Might want to wear some warm shoes as well. Actually, might want to say that. We may have a little competition outside for our students. Reminder, during orientation, kids are going to reconnect. They're going to participate in team building orientation activities where we kind of focus on who we are as Yetis. Students will also receive their second semester schedule tomorrow. We're going to set our intentions and our goals for 2022, and then we'll have to review our new academic structures for second semester. We have some slight changes to our bell schedules, to our lunch schedules, our unplugged schedules, and things like that. I will share that information with our parent community in a later video. I think this one will get a little long if I go through that now. Okay, after tomorrow, we'll have Wednesday. Wednesday's going to look like a pretty typical Wednesday. We're going to have a bunch of nature activities going on, maybe some sledding going on Wednesday morning for a nature activity and different things. We might have some community service opportunities and then some character ed opportunities as well. If your student dealt with anything that prevented them from finishing all their classes and they're feeling stressed about that, we can open up an academic support period Wednesday morning as well. Okay, Wednesday afternoon, we will have a pretty typical WIN period, except for that it will focus on students who did not finish first semester classes, so it'll be credit recovery. And then obviously the students that are in the green and don't have any classes to make up will have some really cool extension opportunities this Wednesday. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about is what are COVID protocols, things that we'll be doing here at Snowy Peaks coming up. Okay, so the big news, this is the big one, is we have moved our COVID testing from Friday till tomorrow at SMS. What we know is that we love being in person. We think that is best for our students. Please help us stay in person. By one of those ways that we can do it is early identification of whenever students are positive, and we do that through our weekly screening. So today, all staff participated in COVID screening today. They all went down and took their rapid tests today. And as I talked about, one of the easiest ways that we can keep our COVID numbers in the building low is by doing our weekly screening. So with the new variant, we have seen a rise in asymptomatic cases. And this screening will provide quick identification and help protect the whole community of Snowy Peaks by identifying if we have any positive cases in the house. So if you want to join that weekly COVID screening, I highly encourage it. We really would love to see all of our students participate in it, especially coming back off of this break tomorrow. And if you want to join, I'm going to resend those directions so that you can register your child with Novir, who's running the testing. I'll post this PowerPoint in the comments here, and you can just simply click right there, and it will take you to the instructions of how to sign up. Again, highly encouraging everybody to sign up for that weekly testing. Okay. And then other ways, other COVID protocols, we want to make sure that we take care of each other with a dedication to our safety and wellness. A few things to remember. Please, screen your child's health every morning. Ask them how they're feeling and monitor for any of those symptoms. If they do have any symptoms at all, please do not send your child to school with symptoms. Okay. Bring a mask every day. Encourage your child to follow all guidelines. Public health did recommend that students start wearing those KN95 masks. And so, that's a recommendation from them if you would like to provide those. But at the very least, please make sure that your student has a mask. And following all these guidelines, they do allow us to maintain that in-person, safe school environment. Provide timely and honest communication, right? If your child's out sick, please make sure that you call Tina. Brenda has moved to Chicago. So Tina Arndt is our new school secretary. So please call her, that day. Let us know that your child's going to be out. Let us know what symptoms they're experiencing. And then, as always, just remain kind, patient, and flexible as we maneuver through these tough times. Also, there's that question of, if my child does have symptoms, should I send them to school? Just as a reminder, please do not send your child to school when they are sick. If your child has any of the following symptoms, please send them home. If they develop these symptoms while they're at school, we'll be calling you to come pick them up. And also, please make sure your emergency contacts are updated, because if we can't get a hold of you, we'll call one of them to come pick them up. If your child does need to miss school for being symptomatic or not feeling well, we're going to work really hard to make sure that your child stays caught up. Okay. Question of, could we move to remote learning with all of this that's going on? And so really what we have talked about that could push us to more online or remote learning would be something, with staffing issues. All right. And so at this point in time, we have, all of our staff are here. We're good to go. We'll be ready. But if it does come to a point where 20% or more of our staff have to be out, not feeling well, we would likely move to a remote learning setting for a week or for a few days. So if we hit that threshold, we'll make sure that we alert you as early as possible of the need to move to remote learning, and then your child will use their Chromebook to sign on to both what I call on-demand classes, where they would sign on to their Google Classroom and complete a number of learning activities, and then we'll also run live classes either on Zoom or Google Meets, where they'd meet live with the teacher. What we won't do is put kids in front of a computer, live on Zoom for 8 hours a day. We know that is not best practice. So if you were with us last year, you're familiar with that hybrid schedule where certain periods of the day students can work at their own pace on their own time, and then certain periods of the day they're going to meet live with their teachers. In order for us to be prepared to do this, right, it is going to be important that students start bringing their Chromebooks and their chargers home from school each night. All right, grades and new classes. Here we go. So teachers are wrapping up their grades. You may have noticed that some grades didn't get updated over the break. I think it's really important that all the staff and the teachers, they get a break too, and that they have an opportunity to be with their families and not think about work for a couple weeks. So we are wrapping up our grades from first semester, and we will have those grades locked by Wednesday. So you can look for those updates at that point in time. We will send out report cards electronically by the end of the week. And tomorrow during orientation, as I mentioned, students are going to receive their new schedules. Now, again, core classes, English, math, science, social studies, most students just stay in the exact same classes, okay? But their electives may change. Their Be Legendary groups may change, and things like that. And then we will start running our new classes this Thursday, January 7th. Okay, I think that's all I have. Again, please consider joining and signing up for our COVID screener and our testing tomorrow. Be great to have a good turnout and see where we sit with those. If you have any questions, comments, feedback for me, there's my cell phone, there's my email. As always, we appreciate you guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and Happy New Year.